Hey Parlusk, I just wanted to throw in a vid here on the 10 uncommon preps that I choose to have around just for the sake that I'm a leathersmith by trade, saddle builder by trade, and I carry and keep in stock bulk leather by the side, all the way from 2-3 ounce up to 13-14 ounce, and of course all the rudimentary tools that I need to do things with that, just a varying odds of stitch groovers and skives and all of this kind of thing, skiving knives and your basic hand tools that you can craft this leather into anything that you need, repair boots and saddles and different things. Again, my bug out bag, I have a lot of leather strapping on there. The nylon's great, but in the event that you have to replace it, there's not a lot of a lot of times you can't find 1.5 or 2 inch or whatever specific dimensions of nylon that you need, especially if we're talking a kind of a collapse situation. The store's not going to be open, and I doubt the Navy surplus will have the doors open and be open for business either. So just basic leatherworking tools. I keep on hand a large supply of various thicknesses of sewing thread, and just a standard basic everyday needle, just a hand needle. You can basically do anything you need to do with leather with those very few basic tools. So I would say that probably covers the 10, but I'm going to go on anyway. I have a lot of hand drills and hand drill bits. Obviously, if it's a grid down situation, you're not going to be able to plug in the old Black & Decker or recharge the DeWalt to get your job done. So I have a lot of hand tools to do various jobs. Basically, just around the house type jobs that you otherwise would use electric tools for. But the other thing, in my bug out gear, I carry and keep a lot of timber frame tools. And this, we're talking stuff that was used from 1870 to the mid 1920s and 30s. I have adze axes, broad axes, draw knives, spoke shaves, all the tools I would need to construct a timber frame building, either at a house, barn, whatever you're going to have. So those tools are all, I guess I look at prepping this way. There was a whole lot of people that existed in the world long before we had electricity and all the modern conveniences, and I've made the effort to go back at farm auctions and estate sales and things like that, and I pick up these old tools, these old hand tools, and the knowledge to use them. So I think that's something that everybody should kind of take a look at when they're, as part of their preparations, is, the solar energy and all that stuff is great. What happens when that's not enough energy to run what you need? Also, I've been kind of toying with the idea of a small standalone single-cylinder steam-powered engine. They used them long before we had electricity or gasoline. So, just some odds and ends of things I've been collecting over the years, and I think it's all something that if people develop the skills to use, it's indispensable. Another thing that I carry, or that I have in my prep bag, is a rope maker. It's just an old apparatus. I didn't bring it out here because I wasn't really thinking about it beforehand, but it's basically just a wheel. It's got a crank on it, gear driven, and you can turn twine into larger rope. I think 5/8 or maybe even 3/4 if you were really into the whole thing. And the other thing that I keep on hand all the time is tanning salt. to tan buckskin, deer hides, elk hides, beef hide, anything that I can use as a renewable resource in that regard. The other thing that I keep in my, on the same subject but yet another item, is I've collected a lot of literature, hard copies of books about settler skills, so to speak. How to plant and harvest, animal husbandry, and there was a lot of things that were written down by those folks that were just day-to-day usage items. The proper way to separate cream, from a fresh milk, how to turn that cream into butter, all of those things that used to be common knowledge. I guess I was fortunate growing up that my folks kind of stayed along the lines of doing a lot of things, in an older fashion, as far as dairy cows and utilizing everything that we produced on our farm. But I think a lot of people, they're driven towards a lot of gear. But again, the mind is your most important prepping tool, and the larger stock of stuff you have to draw from within that is, you just can't go wrong. So I think that a lot of people could utilize the knowledge that came from the people who were in this country long before electricity and all the modern conveniences, which in the event that we suffer some form of collapse or grid down situation, we could really use that knowledge. If you turn the water on and nothing comes out of the faucet, it's going to be a wide awakening for a lot of people. So I think that the more knowledge that we can have, and it's all there, all the knowledge is there. Go out and look for it. There's a lot of, your library is a wealth of knowledge. It was at the local library that a lot of these books that I have, I purchased for little or nothing, and there's an unbelievable amount of knowledge in there. So those are my 10 uncommon preps. Like I said, I imagine there's probably more than that, but that being covered in everything that I've discussed, it's all about the knowledge and how to use what's available and be able to be self-sufficient in the event that you can't get somewhere to replace or repair what you have. So hope that helps somebody out, and talk to you later.